guys, good afternoon. It's Saturday afternoon. Now, apologies about not getting the waffle out last night. I was quite simply too tired. I was in bed for about 11 o'clock, which is an early night for me. I mean, I've always been a late bedder. So, yeah, I'm just absolutely knackered. Probably in no small part for the fact that I went out for quite a big run yesterday. I went up north. We're up to a place called Strafaya. The plan was to try and run 20 miles with my mate. I've not ran that distance for a long time. And unfortunately we took a wrong turning and we ended up getting to a dead end. So we ended up just running back. So I think we did about 12 miles all in, which isn't great, but you know what? It's the longest I've kind of ran for quite a long time now. Apologies again. My right eyelid, this one here, is swollen. Don't know what's going on. And I've also noticed I've got a slight rash on the top of my head, so I seem to be falling to bits at the moment. Don't know what's going on with me. But I hope you're all good. I'm absolutely fine. I've just finished my first week's holiday off work. I'm off for a fortnight. Now this is actually my summer break. I've been trying to resist looking at emails. I mean, I've got a works phone which I always keep switched on, and I keep kind of dipping into them, and I'm up to about 140 emails which I'm going to have to look at when I get back. And I know I shouldn't be doing that because I'm on holiday, but it's so tempting just to kind of have a wee look. But I've enjoyed my week off. I've not done a great deal. I went into Edinburgh with one of my mates. I can't remember what day it was. Doesn't matter. Spent a bit of time in there. We went into a place called Surgeons Hall, which it's kind of a museum, but it was first established, I don't know, about 16 something or another, and it was for basically medical students. There was autopsies were done, and they keep samples and all these different things, parts of bodies in jars, and there quite literally is every single part of the body you could possibly imagine it's in a jar. I'm talking everything. It's quite ghoulish. I mean, there was even one bit, a guy, it was his whole face was in this jar of formaldehyde, and this poor guy had been shot through the head, and he had died in something like 1872. So this guy's face was in a jar, and he was like, well, I don't know, what would that be, 72, I don't know, he was like 200 years old. It's quite bizarre. I mean, you could see his moustache and he had his eyebrows. His eyes were obviously sewn closed, but quite kind of gruesome, but quite interesting nevertheless. So yeah, I did that. We were in there a couple of hours. The rest of the week I've actually been quite lazy, and I'm trying not to beat myself up over it, because I keep saying to myself, I'm on holiday. You know, a lot of people go abroad. People go away on holiday, they relax, they drink beer, they sunbathe. So, I'm not away abroad, but that doesn't mean that I shouldn't be able to just to kind of completely chill back. So that's what I've kind of been doing. So I'm off all next week as well. Again, not getting any real plans. Apparently it's to be really nice. It's to be quite warm the next, I think a few days next week. So yeah, looking forward to that. So that's kind of basically been it. Gaming wise, I'm just looking. I was playing my Atari ST for a bit one day last week, but I have actually been playing a modern game and really enjoying it. I've been playing Resident Evil 2 on the PlayStation 4. Now this is, I believe, a complete remake of the original Resident Evil 2, which came out on the PlayStation, I think it was. Really enjoying it. I mean, I love Resident Evil games, but I tend to get kind of stuck very quickly, and I get frustrated with the difficulty when it comes to saving games. You've got to pick up typewriter things, so you can only save so many times. And then you've got the whole sort of minimal restricted ammunition as well. And I just find that whole thing way too difficult. So I end up not playing it. But this one, fortunately, you don't have to collect the typewriter whatever they're called. So basically when you get to a typewriter, you can save the game, which has been good. So I'm probably about, I don't know, maybe 4 hours into it. I don't know how long the game actually lasts. The graphics are amazing. I mean, I've got to say, the graphics really are staggering. You know, people going about, you know, consoles or, you know, they don't look that good. They're way behind PCs for graphical prowess. But I've got to say, I've got the PlayStation 4 Pro, which I think's got the same graphics as the normal one, but it's got a bit quicker kind of processor. But the graphics are just absolutely exquisite. They really are super detailed. You know, it looks great in my TV. So I've been playing that a fair bit. And I think that's kind of about it. I've not been doing a great deal. Like I said, I've just been enjoying myself. I've just been relaxing and not doing very much, which to my mind is what a holiday's all about. Now, before I forget, I've been told I can now mention it. Play Blackpool on the 12th and 13th of October. Now, I'm going down there for the 2 days. Now, I have actually been asked and I've accepted. I am going to be doing the interview for Sean Southern and Andrew Morris. Now, I did interview them for my own channel a couple of weeks ago, and the video I've actually put out as well. But I was asked by one of my mates he's been tasked with organising the guests, etc. Would I like to actually do the interview at Blackpool? When he first asked me, I was a wee bit, oh bloody hell, that's a bit nerve wracking. And I mentioned it to a couple of people. Lawn Boys Post 1975, mentioned it to my girlfriend, and both of them are like, go for it, do it, you'll love it. And I thought to myself, if I don't do it, I would be thinking, why didn't I do it? Why was I not doing that? Why did I turn that opportunity down? So I'm doing it. So yeah, it will be a wee bit scary. You know, I mean, I've never really done, I wouldn't say that I'm going to be doing any public speaking as such. But if you're behind a table and you might have, I don't know, maybe 100 people, it's going to be a wee bit intimidating. But at the end of the day, I'm going to have my script, I'm going to be well prepared. I'm only asking the questions, and Andrew and Sean they're going to be doing all the talking. I'm just going to be asking the questions. So that should be good fun. So that's going to be on this Sunday. So if you are going down to Blackpool, you will definitely see me if, of course, you go along to the talk. But I would suggest you do, because Andrew and Sean are two of probably, you know, the most kind of, the games that they have written are some of the most iconic games of both the 8-bit and 16-bit. So, you know, I think it would be something that you'd want to go and see. I've got to kind of say that the questions that I'm probably going to ask are probably going to be the questions that I've already asked in my own interview. I mean, what I'm going to do, what I plan to do, is re-watch my video and take a note of the questions that I was asking. I'll probably cut some of them out and maybe try and bring in a few more. I mean, I'm on a strict, I think it's 45 minutes is how long the talk's going to go. And then you're going to have a question and answer thing to finish off with. But it should be good. Like I says, it's a wee bit nerve wracking, you know, but that's what makes it fun. I think I'm quite lucky that they've asked me, and I'm kind of hoping that if I don't make an arse of it, which I'm not intending to do, then you know what, they might get me to do some more in future, especially up in Glasgow. You know, I mean, they didn't have any panel talks last year, or this year I should say, maybe because, I don't know, they didn't have anybody to do it. But you know, I think it should be good fun. I know, like I said, Andrew and Sean are two cracking guys, and I think, you know, it should make for an interesting day. So I think is at 12:30 on the Sunday is when that talk's going to be. So that should be good fun. I've got my accommodation sorted. Managed to I managed to get a B&B booked. I've no idea where I can park about. Hopefully there's going to be parking kind of nearby. So that's kind of been it. The only other thing, gaming wise, which I've done, I didn't really do, is my mate, Dave, he very kindly modded my Neo Geo CD. Now what he's done is, when you put in a game into it, all the menus are in Japanese. Now I don't speak Japanese. And what he's done is he has modded it so that all the menus are in English, which is really, really good. So yeah, that was really kind of Dave. He did that for me. I can't remember what day it was. It was last week, I think it was. So that is excellent. But like I says, gaming wise, I've been quite busy with the videos. I've not actually made any videos this week, apart from I did a live stream on, was it Wednesday, Thursday? I think it might have been Thursday I did a live stream. I always get a row from people, because I don't give you a heads up on the live streams. But sometimes for myself, I think to myself, I fancy doing a live stream rather than putting pressure on yourself and saying, right, I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow, whatever. If you just go with the flow and see how you feel. So yeah, that was quite good fun. It was, what was I playing? It was Thalamus Software games I was concentrating on. I have to say, I only played the Commodore 64 ones. And what was quite surprising, when you think of Thalamus Software, you always think of really, really technically impressive games. You've got Delta, you've got Sanction, you've got Armalite, you've got, is it Quid X, you've got Hunter's Moon. All these games, I've got to say, I'm not a fan of really any of them. They're all, like I say, they're all very, very technically competent. They look good, they sound good, but they're just too damn difficult. They really are. I mean, Hunter's Moon is that programme by Martin Walker. I really wasn't sure of how I was supposed to play the game. In fact, somebody was commenting saying that they were screaming at the TV watching me making a complete and utter arse of it. But as I says, guys, when you're making these videos, when you've got loads of different games to play, I don't have the time to sit and read instructions, so I will never ever ever learn how to play a game. That's just me. But yeah, I was quite disappointed. Just although the games look amazing, they sound amazing, they were just they weren't very good games. I know that's might upset a few people, but there you go. But talking of upsetting a few people, my mate Lacosa joined me for a video again last week, which I will be putting out tomorrow, Sunday. And let's just say I will be very, very surprised if I don't get quite a number of down thumbs. Now the name of the video is, I can't remember exactly what I've called it. It's basically games which everybody else thinks are good but are actually crap. And so says Lacosa and myself. Basically it's games that were mega popular by the biggest majority of people, but we think are rubbish, and we try and tell you why they're rubbish. So yeah, again, as I've said before, guys, you don't take us seriously. Don't take my videos seriously. I'm just a normal, run-of-the-mill bloke making videos for a bit of fun. It's not a full-time job. I don't make any money out of it. It's just a hobby. And it's only my opinion. I'm not right. It's just my opinion. And if everybody agreed or disagreed with me, the world would be a boring place. We're all entitled to our opinion about stuff. So when we make these games, when we make these videos, if I'm honest, part of it is it's a bit of humour. We're trying to kind of prod people a wee bit, trying to get a bit of a reaction out of people. So, if you want to give the video a thumbs down, then by all means go and do it and tell us that we're talking shite. But like I says, this whole thing, it's all about entertainment. I mean, you could have a really, really dry, sort of boring channel where you're just talking matter of fact, but where's the fun in that? People want to be entertained, so hopefully we're making daft videos like that. Yeah, we do stand by. The things we say we do stand by, but like I says, we maybe push it a wee bit just to try and get people talking, get people discussing things, make you think about what we're saying. Are we talking rubbish? Possibly. Maybe not. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's to make people laugh and have fun. And that is the reason I do this channel. So anyway, listen, I don't have anything else to really talk about. So I'm just going to batter straight in with the questions. I don't even know how many questions I've got now. I did have one, which apparently I missed off from my mate Chris, Panther UK. Excuse me. What game would you say has held your attention the longest out of all the ones you've played? But I can't remember if I've answered that one or not, Chris. You did say that I missed a question from the week before. But you didn't ask a question the week before. I can't remember what it would be. The second, yeah, that question was posted on the 26th of July. The 2nd of August, there was no question from yourself, mate. So hopefully that is a question. But anyway, what game has held your attention the longest? Out of any video game that I've ever played, I'm sure I have answered this already, but I'll answer it again anyway. Out of all the games and all the systems that I have owned over the last sort of 30 odd years, the game that I've probably put the most hours into would have to be Sensible Soccer. The original Sensible Soccer. I played that, when I got it, it was literally the only game I played for quite a long time. I mean, I played it right up until I got rid of the Commodore Amiga. And at that point I had got, what was it called? The World of Sensible Soccer, which was the one where there's like management as well. I sold my Amiga and I got a PC, and then I started playing World of Sensible Soccer on the PC as well. But the original Sensei Soccer, played it so many hours, literally played nothing else. Absolutely amazing game. I mean, I've completed quite a few games, like played Doom and that kind of stuff, but once I completed it, I never went back to it. So probably the game that I've played the most on an hours put into it would have to be Sensible Soccer. So anyway, Chris, thank you very much, Squire, for your questions. Right, let me just jump into... Now last week I did a sort of a 1980s nostalgia special, so I don't think there was any questions raised on the back of that. Let me just have a quick little look. Don't think there was any. I'm just going to read out some of the comments. Yeah, Bangkok Ian 1967. Great video, Alan. The late 80s and early 90s were my favourite time for games, movies and culture. And Refraction PCSX2, man, seeing Missile Invaders brought back memories. I used to have one of those as a kid. I can still feel that rigid power button. Wee Bob, great video, Alan. Watching and listening along while doing some woodwork building stuff. Something to think about talking. Talking about. Yoldy Steve, great waffle. Loved the bit about circling the Christmas TV times, radio times. We did that every year. Also in films. Well, most films are shit these days. I'm sick to death of superhero films. You and I both, Steve. Can't be arsed with them. They're just completely repetitive. Don't think there was anything else. Any questions? No, there wasn't. So right, I think we probably have some questions from the week before, which would be, if I can find it, 9th of August, because these are the ones that I never answered last week. So let's have a wee look. Yeah, Chris is saying, cracking waffle, mate. I totally get what you say about Spectrum games. But if there's an almost identical version on the Commodore 64, I'll play that, as I can't be doing Colour Clash and farty sound. For next week, I think you missed my one from last week. Well, that was the one that I just read out, Chris, so hopefully I've caught up in your questions. Milthy Swinbuckle. Fantastic name, mate. Quick question for you, Main Meister. Though I am a bit drunk writing this, so I may go on a bit. However, I suppose this is the place to come for a good old waffle. Clues in the title. Are there any retro games that you wish were updated? Not talking about just gameplay or dodgy controls of the game, but perhaps updated graphics, sound levels, online play. Whoa. Generally, I'm not a big fan of updated games because, as we all know, when you get a popular game or a really good album or a film, it's very rare that the sequel is better. You know, if you start messing about with, you know, good original things, then generally the sequel isn't that good. But a couple of games that I would like to see, and they might not be a patch on the original. One of the games that I've mentioned before, I would love to see. I would really, really like to see somebody remake Way of the Exploding Fist. But it would have to have the same style graphics. I don't want them adding anything. I would just want them to. I would want it to be super realistic graphics, but based on the original. And it would also have to have the same music. Yeah, by all means, you can enhance it, bring it more up to date, but it would have to be very, very, very faithful to the original. I'd love to see a Way of Exploding Fist. It probably wouldn't. It's the kind of game you'd probably play and go, nah, I'll stick to the original. But I'd like to see that. Another game which it's one of these games that really largely went under the radar, and a lot of people probably have never even heard of it. And it was a Rocket Ball, which was based on the 1980s film Rollerball, where you've got a team of guys. It's two teams, and it's in a sort of like a circular arena, and this big metal ball thing is fired out, and it goes round and round in circles, kind of like a marble, like the ball you get in a casino roulette table. The ball goes round and round and round in circles, and there's two teams, and the idea is to pick up the ball and throw it into the opponent's goal. And it's a great game. It's one of probably my favourite Commodore 64 games. Certainly one of the best, or my favourite multiplayer C64 games. It's a fantastic game. So again, yeah, I mean it's mentally, not mentally, it's stupidly pixelated. It's like expanded sprites. The graphics are largely shite. So I would love to see, again, them stick to the same formula. Don't try and change it too much, but just update the graphics and maybe the gameplay a wee bit. I would love to see that, but I can't think of any other games. Again, maybe Super Pipeline. it would probably be more interesting. I think out of an interest rather than I would love to play a new version of it. But yeah, if anyone's watching this and you're particularly adept at making games, Super Pipeline 1 or 2, Way of the Exploding Fist, and Rocket Ball. These are the three games I would like to see kind of more modern takes on. Games that we just don't seem to get much of these days. These old classic games that you'd crack on for 20 minutes for a quick fix. The type of games that were like some sort of low-level drug for 80s and 90s teenagers. For me, it would be some of my personal favourite games of all time. Games like Sensei Soccer, International Karate, plus Robotron, Phoenix Supercars, Stunt Car Race, etc. Perhaps I'm wrong, but the classic games where you dive in without much story, not having to memorise a book full of controls, there were plenty of those type of games as well, and only simple but extremely skillful gameplay that took days upon days to master, seemed to be on decline. Now I type this, I guess that is why retro gaming is so popular right now. You're absolutely right. These games just don't really have a market now, and that's why obviously there's still a thing for retro games. People like to revisit the good old days. So anyway, listen, thanks for your question, mate. And next up, down the rabbit hole, Kevin, for the Friday Waffle. Hi Alan. Someone just mentioned on a podcast that the Shetland Islands in Scotland bear a striking resemblance to the island in Mist, and I googled it and was very surprised at the similarity. Have you ever been, and if not, could we be in store for a road trip with some possible drone footage? Hint, hint. Oh, sorry, yeah, have you ever, blah, 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 sorry, right. Got you. So I didn't quite take on what you were saying there. I have never been to the Shetland Islands, Kevin. It's quite a distance away, but I love Scotland. I love my country. It's one of the most beautiful countries in the world, if not the most beautiful, in my opinion. And yeah, if I ever get a chance to get up there, mate, I will absolutely take my drone. Definitely. Secondly, do you have any adapter hardware like the Super Game Boy that lets you play Game Boy games on a SNES, or the Power Base converter that can play Sega Master System games on a Mega Drive? I don't, Kevin. I did buy a Super Game Boy back in the day. I was going to say the Game Boy that allowed you to play it in the TV, but yeah, I had to be plugged into a SNES. I did own one back in the day. If I'm honest, I wasn't overly impressed with it. I always thought Game Boy games are designed for small screens and they look a bit rubbish when you put it on the TV. But saying that, through the power of emulation, Raspberry Pis, modded Xboxes, you name it, I can play all these games anyway. I do have an EverDrive for my Mega Drive, which does let you play Master System games. So it means that I can get to play Master System games on kind of proper hardware, which is excellent. And thirdly, given how young your daughter Ava is, what does she think of old games that have aged badly, like PlayStation 1 games? I don't think she has really played the PlayStation 1, because the PlayStation 1 it's one system that I loved. I mean, I did love it back in the day. I had a lot of games for it. If I'm honest, it's a system that I don't really play. I couldn't even tell you the last time I had a PlayStation switched on. I mean, I have got a PlayStation in my cupboard. It's not plugged in, and the reason being, the sort of, that was like the first generation of sort of like polygon games. So I mean, yeah, Ridge Racer was an amazing game, fantastic game. And that's the one game that I would still play. But stuff like Tomb Raider and all the other kind of games that followed, I just don't think they've aged at all well. And so because I've not really played it, Ava was born in 2003. The PlayStation came out about, I don't know, about 8 years before she was born. And by the time Ava was of an age where she could kind of play games, so maybe she was 10 years old, you're talking 2013, and at that point I wasn't playing the PlayStation 1, so she's never really played it. She does play the PlayStation 2, I mean, she was playing it last week, she was playing a Spyro game in it. She's played the SNES, she's played the Mega Drive, I don't think she's ever played the Commodore 64 or Spectrum. I just get the feeling that if I was to put on one of these games, she would probably be thinking, nah, I don't like this, Dad, look at the graphics, they're terrible. So, yeah, she's never really played the PlayStation 1, mate, but she does enjoy playing stuff like the SNES. Bomberman, we play that quite a lot. She does play quite a bit of the Xbox 360 as well. Not quite so much now, but we were playing Bomberman in that just last week as well. And finally, I know you're a big fan of the Commodore 64, so would you say the game Oil's Well is more like PacMan or Dig Dug? Oil's Well, I'm trying to remember. You know what I'm going to do? I am actually going to just have a look at this now. I think I know what the game is. Do you control... But let me just type it in just now. There's no point in me trying to guess. Oil's Well. C64. 64. If it's a game I think it is. Yeah. There we go. It was programmed and released by Sierra Online. Right, let's just have a wee look. Do you play the part of an anteater or something? What did you say? PacMan or Dig Dug? I don't really think it's got... If you don't know what Oil's Well is, it's there. It's kind of... It kind of reminds me more of Snake crossed with Pac-Man. I don't really see it as being Dig Dug, because you're not really eating through the dirt. It's not a game that I've actually played. I've probably played when I was doing one of my actual videos, Kev, but I can't say I've really played it that much, mate. Right, let me just get back to where I was. So, anyway, yeah, I'd probably say it's more like PacMan, though. I think it's PacMan kind of cross with Snake. So, listen, Kev, as always, mate, I really appreciate you taking time to ask me questions. I really do. Colin Jones, listening to this on the way back from London, cracking waffle as always, but every time you yawned, so did I. No question this week, but I hope you have the framework for my C16 plus 4 port of my game up by next waffle. Ah, right, this is a game you're writing, Colin. Please make sure you send me a wee copy. I think that's possibly... here we go. Not Yoldy Steve. Cracking waffle, thank you. I'm going to be cheeky now and ask 2 questions. Not at all, Steve. I always welcome your questions, mate, because like I said, I get to the stage where I've not really got an awful lot to talk about, so having questions to answer is always wonderful. With the recent 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing, what 8-bit space game did you love the most, and which, if any, did you dislike? 8-bit space game, well, there's only real one game, and it's that one there. You can see the box, it's this bad boy, and it's Elite. I have featured this game quite a lot. I've done openings of this game, yeah. Well, we all know what Elite is. I'm not going to... I can't even put that down there just now. I did play a lot of Elite. I think I got up to, was it Competent? I think Competent. There was mostly... I can't remember what the different things were, but yeah, I think I got up to Competent, and that was the highest I got, but I played that a lot. Other games, space games, I mean, there's obviously Star Wars, that's a space game technically, but it wasn't that good in the C64. There was a game, Starion, which was on the Spectrum, and it also came out in the C64, but it was fractal graphics. And as we all know, the C64 doesn't really do fractals that well, so I never really played that. I can't really think of any other space game on the 8-bit. I mean, there was quite a few on the 16-bit. Now, I would have to go for Elite, Steve. And secondly, name one great game by Tynesoft. Blimey, I can't even. I'm gonna have to actually Google it, Tynesoft, and see if it comes up. Tynesoft. There we go. Is it going to come up with a list of games? Right. Let's have a look. Well, I know what games are not good. Right. Starting. Well, to be fair, Auf Wiedersehen Pet, which featured in the collaboration that I did with Kozer last week. Auf Wiedersehen Pet is the worst game ever. Bingo Olympiad, Super Gran was another god awful game. Mousetrap. Now wait a minute, Mousetrap. If that's the one I'm thinking of, it's a platform game, kind of Manic Miner. Think Manic Miner, but you play a part of a mouse. I'm sure that was by Tynesoft. Now I really enjoyed that. It's quite a basic game, but I played that in Atari ST and also on the Commodore Amiga as well. Commonwealth Games, Winter Games. Now see, by time like 1988, they were putting out games, Summer Olympiad and Winter Olympiad. Now if I remember rightly, they were actually pretty good. I played them on the Commodore Amiga. Beverly Hills Cop, don't remember much about that. But nah, I'm going to say, yeah, certainly Summer Olympiad was quite a good... It was kind of like Summer Games, I think sort of decathlon Summer Games type thing. And Winter Olympiad was good as well. And Mousetrap was one of my... I wouldn't say it's one of my favourite games, but it was certainly a really, really good game. So, yep, thank you for your question, Steve. I don't know if there's anything else after that. Yeah, sorry, Andy. That's because it isn't. It's Radiant. Yeah, I was calling Radiant Silver Gun Resident Silver Gun. Like I says, I was tired. That's my excuse. Stephen Thomber, yeah, feeling sorry for was badly worded. One thing I think you really nailed in the head here was magical. The 80s was a magical time for sure. Gaming computers were so new and exciting. It really was a magical time and it will never be repeated. Being old sucks most days, but I'll always cherish my memories of gaming and computers in the late 80s. Thank you so much for answering my question. You're very, very welcome, Stephen. So, anyway, listen, guys, I'm going to call it a day. Yeah, I'm going to bring this video to an end. Apologies about it being a wee bit shorter than normal. Apologies about me looking like crap. I don't know what's wrong with my eyelid. I think it might be some kind of allergy. Don't know. But yeah, I'm going to get away. Like I says, guys, if you're going to Blackpool in October and you're going on this Sunday, then please come along and watch me hopefully not make an arse of it. I am looking forward to doing the talk. It's going to be... It's another involvement. I wouldn't say of my channel because it's not about me, it's about the guests. But I'm quite honoured and feel quite privileged that I would even be asked to do that, because obviously it's quite big boots to follow. It's normally the Retro Hour, Dan Wood and Ravi, they normally do it. Then you've got Paul Drury as well, does a lot of the talks as well. So for me to get asked to do it is quite exciting, and I am looking forward to doing it. I just need to get myself all sorted. So anyway, guys, it just remains for me to say thank you for all your continued support. Since having my wee moan about my subscriber numbers staying below 2,500, I've kind of zipped up over it now, and I've picked up quite a few in the last couple of weeks. So thanks to everybody that's just joined the channel, and thank you to all the people that continually support me. You know who you are. It just makes this so much more fun. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.